Y'all, this is real. Um, I have been screaming, praying. Wow. I've been screaming, praying, and my friend is calling me, and I've been thinking about calling her, and I feel like my best friend is calling me, and I feel like God is answering me by having her call me because I've been saying I need to call her and talk to her and it's funny she's calling me. She was with me when I was praying last year and I said last year when I said I just wanted to stop. When I asked God to make it stop, she was the one who was with me. Um anyway, that's not why I came on here. Really, I don't know why I came on here but I did want to talk about what I did today. And the reason why I've been screaming and I feel like I need to go to a rage room and let out some anxiety. I don't know. I'm screaming inside. I've been praying and asking God to please cover me and I just want to know that I'm doing the right thing. Y'all, I knew this was the moment that I knew it was going to become real. And this is the part that I did not want to do. I've been in my apartment for 7 years. And today I just went to my leasing office and I went to my leasing office today and I signed on the dotted line that I'm moving out. And the property manager, she's always really sweet. She's like, you got to do it, Erica. You got to know. If you don't, you'll always wonder, what if? And she said, you don't want that feeling. She's like, you have to do it. And as much as I know she's right, it doesn't make it easy. And this is what I wanted. This is what I said I wanted. This is what I've been saying I wanted, to make this move. And I told her, I said, it's not a normal move. I said, she's like, yeah, no. I said, no, it's not. And she's like, but you got to do it. Y'all, I'm praying that I did the right thing. And I just wanted to start chronicling and showing the process. And I want to show it in real time. And that's why I'm picking up the camera right now so you can see me crying, real time crying. These are not fake tears. This is not AI. This is real. I was literally, I walked back in my apartment and literally I was pacing the floor just praying and asking God, Lord, please tell me I'm doing the right thing. Tell me you got me, God. Tell me you got me. Tell me you got me covered. Because I don't want to make this move if it's not what God wants me to do. And I feel like he does. But it's so scary, y'all. And I really got to plan this move down. July 6th is my last day in my apartment. That's my move out date. I mean, I can move before, but I'm still liable until that day. So, my lease is up anyway. So, I didn't want to get back into it would have been why. So I couldn't renew my lease. I had to just pull the Band-Aid. I had to just rip it and just do it. But y'all, I'm so scared. This is home. Not just this apartment, but this is my home. And I'm literally, change is scary, y'all, but I pray on the other side I pray that it's like Once I get past this part, I pray that it's all worth it. And I know that I'm like, okay, I know that I did the right thing. I pray that it will become, that I will know that it was all worth it in the end. Okay, I'm getting off of here. I just wanted you guys to know what I did today. And I didn't expect it to look like this, but oh, my nose. Gotta go, y'all. Bye. Welcome back to another episode of I Pick Passion and Funny. It is your girl, Erica Bates. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, that was your girl minutes after signing my move out paperwork a couple of weeks ago. That was literally me. We got some things to talk about. Okay, so you all may remember that I told y'all on the first episode of this season. It was like a 10-minute, just a little 10-minute episode, just a couple of updates before we got into the season. And I said that I would follow up with a Q&A at a later date. Well, here we are. I guess that wasn't necessarily, the plan that this would be the episode of the Q&A. I knew I would do one and we would talk about updates because I know there was a lot happening in the background that you guys just didn't know about. But I didn't quite know that this would be the one, but nonetheless, here we are. I didn't know the time. The time was not, I didn't have the time worked out, but here we are. Okay. So the theme here, and you're going to hear me say, is what have I done? What have I done, y'all? That's the reality. So let's get into it. I want to do it. Like I said, this is a Q&A. I've got probably some updates within this Q&A. I'm sure there'll be updates because I will be updating you guys along the way. There will be more updates to come, even after this Q&A. But without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get into it. My nose is itching, guys, and I'm so sorry. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And all right, so first let's get into the move, the LA journey, because I'm sure it's no secret by now. Everybody knows that your girl is moving. And again, that was literally, you just saw real tears. And I never do that. And on camera, like, oh my God. That's not something that I share. I consider myself to be, I don't mind being vulnerable and sharing vulnerability with, with my community or, with my people, with you guys. I don't mind that, but I'm typically very private. And some things I just like to keep to, myself, the people around me. But, I decided that day that I wanted to pick up the camera. And so you got to see my real reaction in real time. So, all right. So why LA and why now? I know a lot of people would think, Erica, you're crazy. You're out of your mind because you're choosing to move right now when there's so much uncertainty going on. And I get it. It is a lot of uncertainty right now. Like, trust me, in more ways than like there's a lot of uncertainty. Everything's up in the air. Prices are crazy. Gas prices, grocery prices, everything is rising. It's like, Erica, why would you choose to go to LA right now? Like, literally. Matter of fact, some people might ask, oh, why would you choose to go to LA at all? And that is a fair question. Okay, so let's start with the why LA. Okay. Why LA? Because it's always been something that I have strived for. When I was younger, I used to tell myself, or I used to tell others as well, like, I want to go to New York. I knew that, being born and raised in Richmond, Virginia, I knew that this was my hometown. I knew this is all that I ever knew. But if I'm honest, I always felt like this was home, but it wasn't where I felt connected. Like, I didn't really feel like this was like, I always said, I feel like I should have been born somewhere else. Like, I just never felt like this was home. Like, it was home, but it was not where I felt like, like connected. Right. So I'm like, it's just home and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like, dang, I really feel like I should have been born somewhere else. Like, but this is where my soul, my spirit just felt like it didn't belong here. Right. My body was here, but my spirit didn't feel I didn't feel the connection here. So anyway, I always wanted to move, right? New York used to be the place for me. And I love New York City. Still love New York to this day. It's one of my favorite places. And so
I just don't like the cold weather. Okay. I don't do cold. I don't do a lot of I don't do snow at all. And I understand and know that New York is one of those places that gets a lot of that. Yeah, 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 yeah. We get it here in Richmond, but we don't get. We have this past season. We did get a lot of snow. We got way too much snow this year, but 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 in the past, we typically don't get snow like that. But we do get cold weather, but still not as cold as New York. So I'm like, well, if I can't do here, then why the hell would I think I could do why would I think I could do New York? Why would I ever think that? So that was out of the question a long time ago. But I knew I still wanted to move. And LA was always on that list as well. It was always a place that was like, it's beautiful from what I see. At one point, I had never visited, so I didn't really know. I just knew what I saw and it looked beautiful. I love the palm trees, love the beach, I love sunshine. It was everything that I could have possibly wanted. And I love entertainment. And so while now I know the entertainment industry, and a lot of people would say and argue that, Hollywood is leaving California, I still believe that there are opportunities there. And I feel like it's been changes before. What's new now? Like, if I feel like there's still, and I believe optimistically that the opportunities they're still there and they will come back. Hollywood, I don't feel like at the core Hollywood will ever leave California at its, fully. There may be some changes, and that's nothing new under the sun, but I just don't feel like I still believe. That's the bottom line. And so, like I said, California has always been on the list for me, like quite frankly, always. So that is why LA, because, a lot of people say, okay, well, California, but why LA? Well, LA, because that's where the opportunities are, right? And I don't believe that every part of LA, and I know for a fact that every part of LA is not, you have your parts, okay? But every part there are some beautiful parts and aspects and areas of Los Angeles. And if you can find them, which, like I said, if you can find them, they're there. Like I said, if you can find them, like they're hard to find. They're not. But you just have to be open minded to say, okay, well, and if you never visited, then you wouldn't know, right? But Los Angeles is beautiful. It's pricey. And that is the only thing that, I would say really I'm asking myself, Erica, why? Right? Like I still in my mind, I'm asking myself, Erica, why? Why? Because yes, it's costly. And that's the only argument. Other than that, everything else is like, why not? Right? But the why is, yes, it is costly, Erica. Are you prepared for that? Other than that, why LA? And I'm at a point in my life where I want to take chances. I want to do things. I want to be a little bit more bold, and I want to be more bold. I want to be more courageous. And this is a leap. It's a step on faith. It truly is a step out on faith. Yeah. And I feel like I believe that it's at the end it's worth it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be afraid because we can let fear cripple us. And I don't want to be afraid of trying and failure ultimately. I mean, that's just the reality that could it fail? I guess it could, but I'm believing that it's all going to work out. Blind faith, literally blind faith. So maybe that's crazy. It's not to me. You know what I mean? So that's why LA, and why now is because I just explained why now, because I'm almost 38 in October. And I've gotten to this point in my life where, like I said, I guess, I don't know, I've gotten to this point in my life where I'm just like, almost fuck it, which I know that's crazy. I know a lot of people are like, what? But you still gotta think, Erica, be realistic. And I am being realistic. But I'm just like, man, I just want to just live, man. I want to live. I want to take chances. I want to be bold. And, and if I really, truly trust God, like I say that I do, right? Then I got to walk it. I can't just talk it. I got to walk it. So, and this is that chance. The biggest thing that I've ever done in my life. And it's not easy, y'all. Like, it's not easy. It's overwhelming to consider and thinking about a move. All of it. Ain't none of it easy. And I said, ain't none of it. I did. Ain't none of it easy. But I believe in the end it'll be worth it. So enough about that. Why LA right now? We got that, I think, right? I mean, obviously we're still talking about it, but what finally pushed you to do it? I don't know. I feel like I might have answered. I think I'm jumping ahead. I answered this question in the last question. What finally pushed me to do it? Life and age, more than anything. Life and age, just not saying that I'm like getting older. I feel like, but I am getting old. I'm older. I'm not getting old. I'm getting older. I'm getting wiser. And with that, I just believe that, I say like, life and age, like, I'm running out of time. I don't at all believe that I'm running out of time. I believe that God still has a lot more for me here to do. So I'm not thinking there's nothing wrong. Everything's fine. But I just mean when I say that just getting wiser. And like I said, not wanting to be held back any longer. You know what I'm saying? Like I've allowed myself for so many years to not do the things that I really wanted to do out of fear, out of convenience, out of comfort, all the things. And I'm like, Erica, shake that shit off. Like you gotta get out of your comfort zone and you have to like be bold and do the things, girl. You talk about it, you dream about it, you pray about it, but are you doing it? And so I said, you know what? F it. I said, look, I've been cussing this whole time now. I said, F it. Okay, well, anyway. Man, that's funny. Like I don't cuss. Like I don't know. I just cuss. I just did. I just was doing it, and I'm real loose lip because I be trying. Like a lot of times, I don't do a lot of cussing. On here, like I try not. I don't want to be the cusser, but in my real life, I do be cussing, y'all. So anyway, what scared you the most in that moment? In that moment, a minute, like that moment that y'all saw, 15 minutes, what y'all just finished seeing. What scared me the most was the reality. Like I knew when I signed that move out paperwork, like I knew that was the moment that would made it real. I've been here in this apartment that I'm in right now for 7 years, almost 7 years. And when I say like this is my home, it's been my home. Not only just Richmond, Virginia, but this apartment has been my home. So, like this is all I've known, Richmond and this apartment. And I'm like, man, that moment I had been procrastinating because I knew my lease would be up. My lease was coming up, ending on June 25th. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, the time had already passed the date when I pulled the trigger. That time had already passed. I was like, like, what am I going to do? Like, I got to make a decision. And I was like, Erica, do you just pay month to month, but you're spending more money here? And, ultimately you don't want to be here. So, like, what are you going to do? You don't want to renew it. Like, what are you going to do? And you're just putting off more time. So I was like, I got to make a decision. Right or wrong, hard, indifferent, whatever, hard, easy, indifferent, whatever it is. I didn't know what emotions would come over me. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I didn't think that would have been my reaction. I didn't think that, but I knew, like I said, I had been procrastinating, y'all. But, on the fact that I knew my lease was coming to an end and like I knew I had to give them at least 60 days notice. And it already been 2 weeks past the time frame that I needed to let them know. And I was like, I gotta do something because now I'm already past June 25th. So I was like, each day, I have to I'm paying additional based on each day. And I was like, ooh, Erica, you got to make a decision on. So I did. I made a decision. And that, like I said, that made it hard was the reality. The reality and that, oh my God, what have I done? Literally, what have I done? That's what came over me. I literally held it together. Actually, I cried in the office. In the office with the lady, the manager of the office, really sweet. And I've talked to her before, of course, and she's always helpful, but, she was really understanding, really like she was like, and she supported, she understood. She was like, yeah, you got to do it because you won't know unless you do it. Like you won't know. And, it's ultimately like, I don't really know what I'm made of. Like, and so what I'm most excited about is like, what am I really made of? Like finding out who I truly am. You know what I'm saying? Outside of what I've always known. So, that's the number one thing I'm actually most excited about, to find out what I'm really made of. And I know that might sound crazy, but I'm almost 40. I'm almost midlife. I'm considered almost midlife at this point. And I'm just like, I just want to find out what I'm made of. I got to know what I'm made of. Like, who am I? Who am I truly in this next phase of my life? That's what I'm most excited about. And knowing God is real and seeing his work. You know what I'm saying? And seeing his work and work with me, through me, all the things. Like, I'm just excited to get to this next level in this next phase of my life and who I am. And Like, I'm just excited about that. I'm so excited about that in whatever capacity, and just being open to what God has for me, because I know that it's gonna be good, y'all. Like, I know it's gonna be good. I really believe that. And that's crazy, because I'm like, Erica, what? Like, y'all don't even know the half. Like, I haven't even told y'all all the things. And we'll probably get into that on a later. But for now, I'm gonna keep it like, y'all don't even know like how much of a leap this really is. And I don't know, like I said, I'm private and I don't really like to share all of the things, because I like to keep them for myself. And then I may decide that, when in time I might say, hey, because I do plan on updating you guys along the way. And I wanted to obviously update you now, up to this point. And yeah, like I definitely wanted to update you, and I kind of wanted to chronicle this whole thing, like chronicles of moving to LA or whatever the whole thing. Like, I wanted to do like vlogs and everything. I haven't gotten to that point. You'll probably see, obviously you'll see vlogs when I get there. Because I will stop vlogging again. I have not done that thus far here, but I probably will do like updates, certain things I'm doing. I'll capture certain things that I'm doing, even if it's like short little moments or whatever, like that little 5 minute or whatever when I was crying. Like, certain things I will capture and I will show. But yeah, guys, this is a leap. Like, it's the biggest thing I've ever done literally in my life, as far as just taking a chance on myself. And yeah. So anyway, but let's get to the rest of this Q&A before this gets so long. Okay, career and purpose. So what are you actually going to LA to do? Okay, what am I going to LA to do? What am I actually going to do is entertainment. Obviously, I guess that goes without saying to a certain degree. I've always loved entertainment. I've always been a writer, and, I did radio and a journalist, and, all the things, entertainment, love entertainment, everything there is about it, music, all of it. Like, I am an entertainment girl as a whole. Any aspect of it, I'm your girl. But I realized that, like, Erica, you're all over the place. You have so many ideas. You have so many hobbies. You have so many things when it comes to entertainment, so many things that you love to do and can do and all the things. And you're all over the place. You got to narrow it down. And I'm still open to opportunities, obviously, if it aligns with what I can and love to do. However, I was like, Erica, I can be on the camera, I can be behind the camera, all the things, right? But I've always typically loved to be behind the camera. And so I love to create things, I love to create moments and tell stories. And so the ultimate is to tell stories, to be behind the camera. It is to produce it'll be producing. More than likely producing, hopefully on somebody else's dime for at least some time, until I can, I can produce things, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be like it's not going to be the production that producing can be expensive, y'all. And especially if you are trying to produce on a certain level, quality and all the things. But I do want to continue to do my producing, the things I'm producing, like my podcasts and doing these like mini little series or whatever I want to do. Like, those things I will still do on my channel. So that is producing, working with others, maybe helping them produce, doing production for others, helping them bring their projects to life, whether that be podcasts or whatever the case. I just want to tell dope stories. That's it. I would love to write also, but I am not, if I'm honest. I've dabbled with writing screenplays, and scripts and all like the things, like in screenplay format. I've dabbled with that, and I do have Final Draft, and I have written some things. I have started and I haven't finished, and I've tried, and I'm still experimenting and still figuring out what that looks like. And if I'm doing it, looking at other screenplays and trying to figure out the format and what do you say and how do you say this and how do you do that, because I am actively trying to figure that out. But I'm actively working that out. Like, as far as my palms are sweaty, guys. I was like, wait, my hands are like moist. But yeah, I'm actively figuring out like the direction as far as like the writing aspect. But and I put that aside a little bit, for now. But I have written some things and I do have ideas. Just trying to figure out what to do with those ideas, what that's really going to look like. I do also want to get back into improv, because I love improv. I really, really enjoy improv. And so improv is something that I truly want to get back into when I get out there. So to answer your question, that's also something that I want to do when I get there. I want to grow in that. I've gotten to the point here where when I was doing improv here in Richmond, I did that for I got all the way to long form. And so I stopped last year as everything stopped for me for a minute. And so that's something I want to get back into and possibly join a group out there. I don't know. But I want to have a good time. I want to be a creative. I want to explore and produce. And in the meantime, the fear is that your girl is going to have to get a regular 9 to 5 again, at least for a while. And I'm figuring that out. So anyway, that's what I'm going out there to do to answer that question. So what does picking passion look like right now versus before? That's a good one. What does picking passion look like right now versus before? Right now, it looks like taking a chance. It looks like being bold. It looks like not being afraid of even the uncertainty. Because like I said, there are a lot of uncertainties, but it looks like I'm choosing myself and I'm choosing my passion, regardless of what that looks like. Yeah, like I'm picking my passion, y'all, regardless of the fears. And at one point in time in life, I used to let fears hold me back. Right. So versus before, the before was I was picking passion, but I was definitely, it was more like it wasn't to this level, to this capacity, right? Like where I'm actually taking this jump. Like this is, like I said, the biggest thing I've ever done, 38 years old. So before I was very much like, I'm putting my feet in, I'm dipping, I'm doing the things because I've always, like I said, been in entertainment. It was never on a full-time level. And the goal is to do my passion on a full-time level. Like I want to be in my passion, like doing my own, with my own brand and growing I Pick Passion Productions, I Pick Passion and Funny, the podcast, like all the things, do live shows in the future. Like I have my own aspirations for this channel, for my podcast, all the things. And then just, like I said, creating opportunities, hopefully other people with them, partnerships, whatever that may look like. But I just want to pick my passion. I want to do entertainment. I want to be in entertainment. I want to be in this space and I want to be in it full time. So that's what picking passion looks like for me now. In the past, it was more like, well, I settled for, not really being afraid, but I was doing things, but I was doing it on a part-time level. I was doing it on the side. It was my side hustle. It was always like, I did it for a while. I wasn't getting paid, for it. The goal is to get paid to do my passion. Before it was like, hey, I'm doing this because I want to be in these spaces. I want to be in these rooms. I want to, but I'm growing. I'm getting the experience, right? Versus now, I want to show, hey, I have the experience and I'm worth the pay. Please pay me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so picking passion right now for me is just being bold, is taking the chances and being unapologetic about that. And so that's what picking passion looks like for me, I guess. Now versus before. What are you building? Podcast, writing, content, etc. I pretty much just said it. I'm building my brand. I'm building this community. We're building this community. I like to say we because I'm a one-woman team at this moment, but I want to expand. And we meaning the audience, my audience, you guys for being here. Like you are the we. We are a community. It's a collective. And so because I wouldn't be doing, like if I didn't have an audience, like you guys to watch this, like, or to grow with me, like, because this is a growing in real time. Like I'm growing in real time and, I'm figuring this thing out in real time and you guys are with me. And I really, truly appreciate that because you could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all have heard that's cliche. Like you could be anywhere, but you're here with me. Like, but it's real. You really could, but you're here with me. And so I greatly appreciate that. Like, I don't take that lightly. I don't take it for granted, but I'm building my podcast and just my content creating. I've been stepping up my content creating lately and, on social platforms. I've been trying to grow my Facebook, taking time for that, like sharing content there and really making sure that I'm trying to nurture that as well. And so social media content creating, I envy those that really be out here doing this content creating. I'm like, I envy that. Like, I really do envy you guys because you guys are doing it. And like, I'm very happy and I like very genuinely happy for those that are really out here doing your thing and consistent when it comes to like putting up the content, i.e. the Kev on stages and all that, like, and not just Kev on stage. I mean, but Kevin Fredericks, Kev on stage, like him, like he's just an example. I always think about him because he's, like I said, a machine. Like I did a video not long ago where I was like, I think he might be AI. Like I think Kevin Fredericks I think Kevin's AI, but like I really and that was obviously haha, right? funny. It's a joke because the man is obviously human, but it's just like at the level that he creates and how he's built this machine, like it's admirable. Like I look at it from afar and I'm like, you know what, guys? Like how like I envy, like, how are you doing this at this level? It is crazy. And I don't consider myself, it's still hard for me to consider myself to be a content creator because that's never really been a space that I really ever thought about or really wanted to exist in. But it's the direction that it looks like, it's a vehicle for sure. That I'm to get there, and I'm enjoying aspects of it. Like I said, I have been showing up more consistently with content, including Michael Jackson, because I've actually quite enjoyed the Michael Jackson content, and I found a love for that, and not a new love for Michael Jackson, because like I said, that's something I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, she's just jumping on the bandwagon. No. I've always been a Michael Jackson fan. It's just not something that was talked about. You know what I mean? Like I had no reason. I didn't think about talking about it before, that my love for Michael Jackson and his music and the family and all of the things, it was just not something I thought about sharing. But since the movie, it has reawakened that love that I always had inside of me for him, and to learn more about him and things that I didn't know before. And so I've decided to pick up the camera and share a lot of the things that I did not know, and maybe you guys didn't know either. And then of course I kind of started the Dear Michael on here on my channel, which I want to grow that. I have a lot of ideas for that too. And something that I'm going to exclusively say on here, but I have not announced it or promoted it yet. But I was not prepared in starting a Patreon. I told myself for a while, I was like, I'm not going to do a Patreon. I'm not going to do a Patreon because I don't think my audience, I'm at the point where my community's grown enough where I feel like you guys would even support a Patreon. But I have started one, and I was kind of forced to start one. It wasn't my idea, but I had to pivot. So was starting to do, speaking of the Michael Jackson content, I was doing reactions. I find reactions are really cool. And I fell in love with looking at a couple of channels of their reaction videos. And I was like, oh my God, it's so fun. I need to get in on this. So I was doing I did a reaction to, which you guys, I will be putting in the link up. I might just I'm going to put it, if I'm talking about the Patreon, I guess I need to put it in the description of this video. So if you guys would go, please go support. That video is not behind the paywall. That video is free to everybody because I wanted my first reaction video to just kind of like be up and people to be able to see what I'm doing. Check it out. If you love what you see, the future videos will be behind the paywall, but this one is for free. So you don't have to worry. You can click on the link. But I would appreciate it if you do subscribe to the Patreon, be a member of this community, growing community there as well. Very new growing community over there. But I would appreciate it because it does help, it helps me in this journey, y'all. So yeah, I did a reaction video to the In the Closet outtakes and like BTS of the video when they were doing the video In the Closet. And because it was music related, a music video, the music was playing and there was just one copyright, of course, on YouTube. Like they weren't having it. So I was like, well, I could either choose to just put this up. It wasn't really affecting anything. Like I could have technically probably, but it wouldn't have been it probably wouldn't have done as well. Well, I know it wouldn't have with the copyright. It wouldn't have done as well as it would without it. And I just felt like, it was like, I think it was like a copyright in another country. Like it probably wouldn't have ultimately, because it wasn't like banned here or anything like that. But I just didn't know that it would really perform. And I was like, you know what? I want to deal with like, when it's music related, I don't want to deal with the chance of having a copyright strike. And then I have to worry about like, oh my gosh, everybody's not going to be able to see it. It's not going to perform as well. And then it just bothers me that the copyright is there. Like it's just like it's like an eyesore. And, or the fact in my mind that I know that it's there. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I said, you know what? Music ones that like I will still, I poked my nose, y'all. Ones that I know like that I can use for YouTube, like obviously I will put them on YouTube. But the ones that I feel that I know or that end up with a strike, I will end up putting So I was interrupted, you guys. So I do apologize if, I got abruptly cut off. The connection was lost. But I was saying that if I am able to post on my YouTube, then I will just post there my reaction videos. Like if it's like an interview or something that's not necessarily music or music heavy, then I will just put that on my YouTube without a strike. But if there is a strike or something like that, or if it's music heavy or whatever the case, or music related, more than likely it will end up going on the, well, not more than likely, it will end up going on the Patreon. So that's new, and I'm still learning Patreon because I'm not like this is a new thing for me. And again, I didn't anticipate doing Patreon this soon, but with the direction that things kind of seem like it's naturally going in, like Patreon was the best option to be able to do what I am trying to do. And I wanted to start doing reaction videos because I thought it was fun, and I'm here for it. And so I enjoy watching Michael Jackson content and new content, things, interviews and clips and things that I've never seen before, seeing for the first time, or I've seen before and it's just been a very long time, or whatever the case may be. So, and I'm looking at other people and doing reaction videos, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to get in on this. Like, shout out to, and I'm going to shout him out because that's my guy. Like, he doesn't even know it, but like, I really really enjoy watching him and do these reactions, and his channel is so fun. It's so fun. Hayes Sound Waves, what they call Hayes Sound is what his channel is, Hayes Sound Waves, but he goes by Hayes Sound. And he's like your boy Hayes Sound. When I say I love his content, I'm here for his page. Like, shout out to him. And he's one of the ones in particular that I'm like, I've been really, really watching him do his reactions. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's inspiring me. And I feel like I'm learning from him. And like, it's really cool. So yeah, so that's what we're doing, y'all. This is the direction that we're kind of naturally going in. So please support the Patreon. I will put the link in the bio in the description. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm building, but this season intention. So let's talk about the season intentions. Okay. Why you started the season the way you did. So I started the season, I talked about very much more intention this season. This season for me, the guests that I had on, the choices that I made for guests were very intentional. These were people that I am a personal fan of. I'm a fan of their work. I look at them, I admire them from afar. Tyree, Elaine, and I are actually friends. And so, Chaz and I have built a relationship as well. Like, he's really dope, really cool. Like, these are just people that I dope people that I support, and I've admired them and like what they do. Justin Hires, Meg, I love Megan Sousa, I love her, her relationship with God. That's really what ultimately connected me with her. So that was an intention. That's why I reached out to her, and her comedy and just her work. Justin Hires, like, he's dope as hell. And he's always everywhere. Justin is like, he, for me, is the person that he's just like constantly reinventing himself. And I can respect that. So these were people that I had every intention on reaching out, very much intentionality in everyone that I had on. And just wanting their stories to be shared. Again, I love to share and tell dope stories. So that goes right back to that. So yeah, man, like, this season was very much intention. And even this decision that I'm making right now, intention, right? And so, and especially after I had taken a pause last year, the way that I did, with everything that went down with my career and everything at the time, and work and everything, everything came to a halt for me, just mentally, and just like, in actuality, like, life kind of like changed for me last year. And so I had to kind of take a beat. And so with that, I wanted to come back with intention, this time around. Not that it wasn't intentional the first time, but this time it just felt like it felt much more like, intention. It was always intentional. Me starting this podcast, this brand, all of it was with intention. But this time just felt like coming back, and I'm like, hey, I'm coming back. We're bigger, we're better, we're doing things different. Things look a little different. But intention is it. This is this season for me, intention. So that's why, I guess, the answer to why I started this season the way that I did. At least I hope that I guess that answers that, right? What you want people to get from it. I want people to be inspired. Same thing has always been my core beliefs: inspiration, like community, education. Like, I want you to get something always, like, learn something. I want you to be inspired to do something, and to laugh along the way, because ultimately life is Okay. Life is a lot. Life can be a lot. And so it is important to laugh. And so that's what I want people to get from the season, from the podcast, from the brand, from all the things. Like, just be inspired and be entertained, educated. Yeah, that's what I want. Why things might look different, more solo episodes. So for the time being, again, like I said, I am moving. That's not new information. And so right now, I have a couple of, people that I've reached out to, or reached, that we've been in have a couple of people that I've been in communication with, and they may still show up on the podcast in between time. So you may still see guests, and I might decide that I might, like, hey, I might be inspired to reach out to someone here or there, but it may not be consistent. You'll probably be getting more solo episodes from me, talking about updates, talking about the move, what's going on, whatever. I don't know, whatever topics come up. In the meantime, because it's just easier for me with everything else that I have going on right now and trying to figure this move out, that I just don't have necessarily all the capacity to do the booking and reaching out and the follow-ups and trying to get guests and dealing with that. Necessarily at the moment. So it may just have to temporarily be a little bit more on the back burner and just focus more on this move, and still producing the podcast. However, like I said, it'll just be probably more solo episodes. So that's a possibility. So I just wanted you guys to know that. And then, sorry, let's get to some fun light questions a little bit. What's one unrealistic expectation you have about LA? So one unrealistic expectation, I guess, that it would be, it's going to be easy. And I say that to say it, that might actually be realistic, because with God, I believe all is possible, right? But like, that it was going to be easy. That's probably unrealistic. Maybe cost efficient. I don't know. That's unrealistic, but that's probably, that would be it. What's in your main character move to LA playlist? Ooh, what's in my main character move to LA playlist? That's a good question, y'all. And I might actually have an answer for you. So let me go look at my playlist, because I actually have a funny thing. I actually created some time ago a Hollywood playlist. Now, I didn't complete it, but let's see what I have on here thus far. Hollywood by Rick James, which actually makes me cry. Dream Big by Jasmine Sullivan. Welcome to Hollywood by Beyonce. Gone to California by Pink, and California Vibes by Tidra Moses. Those are the 5 songs so far that I have on my playlist. So it's funny, I actually have a playlist, but I don't know in reality, like, aside from those songs, because they're pertaining to Hollywood or California or whatever, the vibes, I don't know exactly what would be on my playlist otherwise. Right now, probably Michael Jackson, because his music has lately really been inspiring me, and just like, I'm just in awe and in love and all the things. So that probably would be my answer today, right now. But I actually have a Hollywood playlist, so it's so funny. And I created that a while ago. Okay, so what are you not prepared for at all? I am not prepared for this move, if I'm being completely honest. And that's the reason why I need to focus on it, because I'm overwhelmed, you guys. I have something I've never done. I've moved, but not moved to another state across the country. So this is different. And it's heavy, and it's a lot. It's a heavy load, y'all. And doing it, like, completely, like, with not a lot of knowledge on, like, I know, right? Like, but I don't know, like, companies and, like, how this thing actually, like, it's just reaching out to people, what's the best, most cost efficient ways, and this and that, and the companies, like I said, for transporting my vehicle, like, what am I going to do with that? How's that going to work? Moving companies, like, across the country, like, places I want to give clothes away to, like, just so many logistics, and the packing, the throwing things away. I gotta sell furniture, like, a lot of things that I plan on getting rid of and not keeping, trying to make the load as easy, as light as possible. But like I said, I have so many things, and still just trying to maintain daily things, like, so it's a heavy load. So yeah, I don't even, like, what am I not prepared for? This move, like, literally, and days keeps going, and I'm like, Erica, you literally, like, your time, honey, is your move out date is going to be rapidly approaching, and you are not prepared or ready. So that's not what I'm prepared for. That's what I'm not prepared for, you guys. But anyway, I persevere. All right, what are you grieving? I am grieving what I feel like this not not the old version of myself, because I'm not grieving that at all. And what she may look like. I'm very happy and optimistic about this future, this current me. All in all, I'm very optimistic. I'm very happy about the woman that I'm becoming, the choices that I'm making. So I wouldn't say that I'm grieving anything about the old me. I guess when I say that, I guess I'm thinking the home, like the reality that I'm leaving home. I think I might be grieving that a little bit. Like I said, the reality that this is now real. I may be grieving that a bit, just a bit. You know what I'm saying? And putting that all behind me. So I might be grieving that a little bit. The fact that financially there are a lot of uncertainties right now. That's a grievance. Like financially, there's a lot of, without getting into all detail, but there's a lot of like, okay, girl, this costs to move out here, still got to pay bills and all the things. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm taking this leap. Like, what am I thinking? So that's a bit of a grievance. What are you leaving behind? I'm leaving behind fear. I'm leaving behind the old me. I'm shedding all of that. Like, I'm ever growing. I'm almost 38. I'm leaving the fears and the comfort zone and all of that behind me. And I am stepping into this who I am today, and this new womanhood, almost midlife. Like, this is who I am, and this is what it is, unapologetically. What does success look like 6 months from now? To be honest, y'all, I don't know. I know what I would love ideally, but the truth is I can't even answer that, because I don't know what that looks like 6 months from now. I know I pray that I will be comfortable. I will be happy with my decision, financially be stable, loving Los Angeles, like good community, hopefully around me, people that I have built relationships with, hopefully have maybe started improv, found producing opportunities. It'd be great if it was full time, but like, or, working in entertainment, whatever God has for me in that way. Like, that's what success would look like. And again, and healthy. Amen. First and foremost, healthy, happy with my decision, and feeling whole in myself, and complete and happy with God and the direction that he has me in, and that where so hopefully that's the way I feel 6 months from now. But stay tuned. Yeah, so you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this community again, this growing community. This has been another episode of IP Passion and Funny, because life be funny, and I'm still choosing and picking passion. So y'all with me? I mean, y'all with me or y'all not? Again, thank you for being here, and stay tuned for next week. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your people. We're doing amazing things over here, and yeah. Until next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.